I'm your host, Mona, and this is Introspection, the podcast. It is my belief that self-love is the key, and that we as a society have been conditioned. It's time we break free from these idealisms and we start living from our souls. The journey to self-love begins here. Introspection with Mona starts now. Welcome to Introspection with Mona. It's been a little bit of a ride, and I guess this full moon is just wreaking havoc. I'm going to share a little bit about the thoughts that I'm pondering. Wonder if you're pondering the same things. What are your answers? What are your conclusions as to what you come up with? Life has a funny way of, bringing things into our lives for us to experience. We all have vices. We all have hills, mountains, hurdles to climb. And then sometimes that's with other individuals. And sometimes that's within the self. I'm not going to say that I'm a spiritual expert by any means, way, shape, or form, because I'm not. I'm learning and growing just like you. My learning started very small and now it's grown into something more, and I continue to learn. I continue to try to do better. I shouldn't say try. I continue to do better every day. But how do you reconcile with the fact that you may be watching somebody make a mess of their life? For those of you that have listened to prior podcasts and are, on my Instagram, you do know that I am a reader, I am intuitive, and that I can see things. So my intuition sometimes speaks very loudly. And I know with every fiber of my being inside of me when someone's making a mistake. I've called it once, it's showed up. Calling it again, it needs to show up. And it will, just in its own time frame. Here's the other thing, how do you watch somebody make the same mistake twice? Did you not learn anything? And I know lessons repeat themselves so that you can learn. There is only so much you can say, do, to help educate a person. And the funny thing is, I, right now, have a few people in my life that are repeating mistakes, not being truthful, manipulating situations to speak whatever the situation is in a different language other than the truth. The truth holds power, and sometimes you can wait for someone to stumble and fall and make the mistake and just sit back like a sitting duck waiting for the next thing to come your way and hope that the lesson that they learn has changed them. And then you can do it again and the person goes down the same path again, clearly because they haven't learned their lesson. So we'll use relationships as an example. You're gonna do it different this time. So you jump right back in right after one, and you jump right back in. So you jump right back in. You get into a relationship, and you say that it has remnants of your past relationship. There's your red flag. Get out of it. But nope, you're gonna keep on going to say, no, I'm going to show you, I prove you wrong. You're only doing that, again, to hurt yourself. You're not going to hurt me, but I'm going to watch you and say, okay, I did say this to you. Why did you not listen? Because why? You were too stubborn and too prideful and too much in your ego because you thought you were better and you knew better. Sometimes it just takes a minute to just sit back and listen. You don't have to take it in right at that moment, but ponder it after the fact. Maybe there's some truth in this. Maybe there's something there that I need to let go of because I need to learn and grow for myself. We live in a world of really good people that make bad choices. And this part makes me emotional, and I apologize. I have people in my own little bubble that I see make poor choices. You could be a client that I've built a relationship with and I'm watching you fall apart. You're saying you're doing the work, but you're not doing the work because every other aspect of your life is falling apart. If you're doing the work, you would step away and see what you needed to see. And then I get emotional because good old me, I'm a kind, caring, compassionate person. So that compassion comes out of me, it pours out of me. And you love people and you meet them where they are. But it's so very hard when you care about people to sit back and watch them either make the same mistake or make a mistake that you may have already warned them about. As I said before, some of you that are following my Instagram at leadonwithlove.com have listened to the podcast on YouTube at Lead On With Love. Know what I'm about. I want to bring awareness. How do you bring awareness to the people that you love and care for? And that includes my clients. That includes the people I interact with. And, at the end of the day, the entire world, because I want better for our entire world. We all deserve that. But how do you reconcile with watching someone just make a mistake or watching things crumble all around you? If we look at our world right now, it's a mess. It is a mess. Governments are falling apart. Shortages everywhere. Greed at its finest. And we're one big show. As a human race, all we are is one big show because we need validation from the outside world rather than the validation from within ourselves. So I ask you, as a listener, what do you do to reconcile the fact of watching someone make a mistake? Not once, not twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times over, and it's the same mistake and it never gets any better. How do you reconcile that? I have to let people be, and trust me, I am the sitting duck just waiting. Just waiting. I have someone in my life that I love dearly, but they have skewed and manipulated words and things like that to make it okay in their world, to be a certain way. And this person can certainly dig their heels in and need to prove a point because they're too far in ego and they can't see it. So you love them from a distance. You pray for them. You give them what you need to do, but you sit and wait because the time will come where that person is going to turn around and come back and say, oh, I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know what to do. Well, you were finding your way, but you chose to be lost because you chose to sit in your ego. I find speaking the truth sometimes, it's not that you're out hurting other people, but sometimes you sit back and you wait hoping that that person will change and they don't. And then you have to speak your truth and show them what you're seeing, because there are some people that will not take and say, well, okay, yeah, you've been doing X, Y, and Z. Well, what have I been doing? It's an ego thing because they want to be able to prove to you that you're wrong. I had someone say to me, oh yeah, I've been working, so that's why I can't do anything. So if you lived on your own, would your place be a pigsty because you worked and you couldn't clean up after yourself? Is that how it works? Is that how life works? And again, I'm pointing the finger and I apologize for doing this, but it has been in my experience, and this is my opinion, where I watch a lot of young people feel they're entitled to everything. And yet there isn't that care and that love that is reciprocated back. I want this and I want this. Well, what are you doing to show me respect that you need to earn that? There may have been a time where I handed things because I said, okay, I want to do better than what I was given. And I am grateful for the parents that I have because it's made me who I am today. Whatever trials and tribulations I went through with them, I'm grateful for the way I was raised because you know what? It taught me to be a kind, caring, compassionate human being. I can go back as far as 5 years old and, either giving everything away, Or here's a story for you. I think I was 6. And when you're little, you get change and all kinds of stuff given to you money-wise. $5 here, $5 there from aunts, uncles. I come from a very large extended family. And for a long time, I was the only little girl in our family for a very long time. So I used to get a lot of change. I'm not going to lie, when I was little, I'd take my aunt's change off her dresser because she lived with us. And she'd say, "Who took my change?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, I didn't take it." Yes, I did take it, but I didn't want to get in trouble. So again, you'd get all kinds of change. You'd be given change and whatever else. I do, as I said, I remember, and I'm sorry that I'm a little bit rambling at the moment, but I remember my mom being on the phone and asking one of her siblings, what is it that their mother needed? And because my grandma had a stroke and wasn't able to care for herself, so one of my aunts stepped up and stepped in line to do that for my grandma. So my aunt had said to my mom, one of the things that my grandmother needed was a hot water bottle. For those of you that know what that is, it's a rubber bag basically that you fill with boiling water from the kettle so it would be warm. And I heard this, so I went in my piggy bank and I think I took out $6. I think it was $5 bill and some change, and I handed it to my mom, and my mom said, "What's this for?" And I said, "Oh, it's for Grandma's hot water bottle." And my mom's like, no, it's okay, we'll buy it. And I said, "No, I want to buy it for Grandma." So this is the kind of soul that I am, and I still am to this day. It aches me when I don't have, in order to help somebody. I currently have someone in my life that I have helped, but I don't have enough to help them as much as they need the help. Because I also need to help myself. That they have someone, a partner or someone in their life that needs medical attention because of a hole in their heart. So, and as I said, I've helped as much as I can. I have exhausted myself. If I had more to give, I definitely would. But it's those little things. Like, can most of us turn around and say, okay, that we can give the last dime that we have? That we can empty out everything that we've had in order to help someone else? I can wholeheartedly say that I have. But then when you do help somebody in that manner, and not that you're expecting anything in return, maybe just a little respect would be nice. To watch somebody just walk all over you, take advantage, no respect for you, no respect for anyone else other than themselves. So how do you reconcile with that? My reconciliation, and I hate to say it like this, but I depend on karma. I'm like, okay, you're not learning this way, but karma will have to come for you, good or bad, for you to learn. Because there's no way that you can put out the amount of karma that you're putting out and not reap it back, whether good or bad. It's just hard to sit back and watch other people make a mistake. And it's other people that you care about, or things that you know that are just not being done the right way. We all want better. We all want to do better. But we can't get better unless we get better. And that's kind of where my take is that sometimes we need something severe to happen in our lives to change, to do better. As I had shared with you guys before, I had a really bad accident that stopped me dead in my tracks for over 14 years. Not saying that I don't still feel some of the remnants of that. It's okay. If it's not a good day today, it's okay. It will be better tomorrow. But I certainly don't carry myself with whatever it is that I was diagnosed with. So, as I said, for me, it's just, okay, I have to sit back because the seeds that we're sowing, they've got to grow and reap it at some point or another. I don't know when, I don't know how. But it will come. I urge each and every one of you to maybe take something that I've said today, something, and instill it in your own life. But I also want to hear the things that you guys have to say. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What do you think might be a different way of doing things? You're open, you're loving, you're kind, you're compassionate. And you wait like a sitting duck for the other shoe to fall, something to fall, in order to say, hey, okay, you need to pick yourself up now and dust yourself off and really do something about who you are, because you're repeating the same patterns. Those are my thoughts for today, for this Friday's podcast. I'd love to hear yours. Leave a comment, leave a note at one of our social media platforms or at leadonwithlove.com. And tell me how you think and what you feel. I think that is where I'll leave it today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I hope it leaves you something to ponder today. I hope that something has inspired change within you or within the world around you. And I hope this might be helpful for you, maybe to help someone else or help yourself. I'll leave it at here for today. Thank you for tuning in to Introspection with Mona. Until next time, peace, love, and blessings to you and the world.